Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Ben. Picture this. You've booked a vacation on one of the most beautiful planets in the galaxy. You have tickets aboard a luxury space cruiser with Chris Tucker as your host and wonderful evening entertainment to get you there. Alright, that's a different movie. But anyway, when you get there, all you see is a debris field and a small moon. You'd be pretty peeved, right? Well, I think the residents of Alderaan were pretty peeved too. Peeved and shocked, actually. No one really expected this to happen. You see, Alderaan had been pretty much untouchable even to the Emperor. It was one of the original human planets. Ancient Alderaanians set out from here in giant sleeper ships to conquer the galaxy. Alderaan was a pacifist world full of beautiful scenery, art, history and literature. It was the heart of the galaxy, and the royal family, despite having no official galactic powers, were still considered leaders in their own right. Ruling the planet were Breha Organa and Bail Organa, who'd just been laid off by Palpatine. A couple of decades earlier, they'd gone out of their way and adopted Leia, which was a potentially dangerous move because of who Leia's real parents were. Anyway, remember this scene at the end of Rogue One and the beginning of A New Hope. Leia's ship, the Tantive 4, has the Death Star plans on board, which had just been stolen from Scarif by the rebels. They head towards Tatooine, pursued by Darth Vader in his Star Destroyer. Vader catches up with the Tantive 4 near Tatooine and pulls the ship into the docking bay of the Star Destroyer with a tractor beam. The Empire then creates some fake news saying that the ship was destroyed in an asteroid storm. The new book, entitled From a Certain Point of View, contains a short story which bridges the gap between this supposed asteroid storm and the destruction of Alderaan from the point of view of the Organas. In the story, Bail Organa returns to Alderaan and he's standing on a balcony with his wife, Breha Organa, Queen of Alderaan. At this time, the Emperor has already dissolved the Senate, which is what you get a reference to in the meeting room scene on the Death Star in Star Wars A New Hope.
The Imperial Senate will no longer be of any concern to us. I have just received word that the Emperor has dissolved the Council permanently. The last remnants of the old Republic have been swept away.
Breha describes the move as monstrous and exclaims, "I knew the Emperor was bold, but I expected at least a measure of subtlety." He knows no subtlety, so what, did he announce it on Twitter? Anyway, Bail tells his wife that he has even worse news. The Tantive 4 has been destroyed. Breha is obviously distraught. The Tantive 4 was officially a diplomatic vessel that their daughter Leia had used to secretly carry out what some might call questionable and illegal activities, such as aiding and abetting known criminals. But the Organas had a lot of faith in Leia and didn't believe that she had been killed. They had obviously heard the Empire's official version of events because they sent scouting parties to search planets near a certain asteroid field. Yet at the same time they are suspicious, and Breha refuses to believe that the ship is lost unless she sees the wreckage with her own eyes. In the 2 days after Bail returned, they had set up a command center in the palace where they were coordinating their agents searching for Leia. Suddenly, Captain Alderaan calls on a holo device, saying something about a huge object moving into orbit. The call starts to break up, but he says one word that provides all the information they need to know. Above. They run out onto a balcony to see a shadow being cast across the beautiful Alderaanian landscape. Breha thinks back to an eclipse she saw on Coruscant. To be honest, eclipses are always an anticlimax. Look, here's one from New York this year. Sucks. Anyway, back to the story. The Death Star quickly obscures the sun. At this point, the battle station was still just a rumor amongst the general population. Breha asks, what could possibly be so large? Bail replies, the Planet Killer. They don't believe that the Empire would really dare to destroy Alderaan, but it very quickly becomes apparent that the planet is indeed being destroyed, as a green beam causes the land to erupt and fall towards them. Breha's last words to Bail are, "I would know if she were gone. She lives." Of course, talking about Leia. Their palace then starts to disintegrate around them, along with the rest of the planet. Then the Emperor sends out a tweet to his 14 trillion followers that he hopes will bring the galaxy in order. In all seriousness though, it's a touching moment that allows you to see the real tragedy of the destruction of Alderaan. It's just a shame that back in the 1970s they didn't have the technology to really bring it to life, like they did with the Death Star tests in Rogue One or with the destruction of Hosnian Prime in The Force Awakens. but it's better late than never. If you're interested in reading the story for yourself or any of the 39 other stories in this book, there are 40 stories to celebrate 40 years since the release of the original Star Wars. Check out the link to the book on Amazon.com in the description of this video below. So what do you think about this, guys? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Give this video a like, and a special thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you guys were my kids, I would encourage you not to work with undesirables and terrorists like that wretched Princess Leia did. Get an honest job, like be an administrator in an Imperial Detention Center. Thanks for joining us today, guys, and if you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.